the layers of the onion you have to go through to change your paradigm, as we just described, to grok Bitcoin at a fundamental level, to understand that fiat is the reason why we have income inequality. It's the reason we have crap food in our society. It's the reason why, all the problems we know that exist in the world that could be fixed with Bitcoin. But to really get that, there is some intelligence required. It's not that easy for somebody who's not very educated to actually grok all that. And then I think what it is finding other metaphors, analogies, and explaining it in ways that are more approachable for people that are not necessarily highly educated. They can get it, but you need to speak at a level with references they can understand that affect their daily life, and show them what a Bitcoin world could do for their life. I think we can get there, and you don't have to be a rocket scientist or a Ph.D. And I will say, I got advice on my book to take Ph.D. off, because I often have Boyd Cohen, Ph.D. like in my LinkedIn profile and stuff. And I don't even have it on my book anymore, because there's a lot of Bitcoiners in particular who have like this negative visceral reaction to people with PhDs, because we're presumed to all be like old school ivory tower, like intellectuals, not really grounded in the real world of what's happening. And I will say on that, I mentioned this to Robin in a podcast, Robin Sayers recently, that, when I was first trying to orange pill my colleagues at the business school I'm at now, I mean, it's shocking. You have all these extremely highly educated people in business, which is not economics, but it's adjacent to economics, right? One of the first conversations I had was with a colleague who's been a faculty member for 30 years, has published, 100 articles in peer-reviewed journals. Nothing to do with economics directly, but in business. Mm-hmm. And I'm explaining why Bitcoin is superior to fiat in a very, I'm starting at the top layer of the onion. And he's like, wait. Before you go on, please explain one thing to me. What is fiat? Can you believe that?
I think you should repeat what you just said, because this is what people need to understand, right? In multiple ways. One, if you are into Bitcoin and you think you figured out Bitcoin to a certain degree, realize that you actually know what you have figured out, right? Like, you can trust yourself, and this is your opportunity.
In a way, it's also quite sad, though, because people in my shoes around the world, not just for themselves and their family, but they're teaching hundreds and thousands of future professionals and people in universities. And they're not, like, I taught a course last semester on sustainability and technology, and how technology can help us get to abundance, as we just talked about. And I had one of my 9 sessions just on Bitcoin. And of course, my students are not expecting a session about Bitcoin and sustainability, because, it's not what most people think of. And the students loved it. They wrote me after, says, amazing. Can we do another 3 hours outside of class? Because they wanted to go deeper down the rabbit hole, understand about wallets and all these. I mean, it was awesome. But they told me they never heard the word Bitcoin once. And they were in their last semester of a 3-semester MBA program. They never even heard the word Bitcoin in a class setting. I don't mean they'd never heard about it in their private life. No other professor mentioned it once in any class. I don't mean like they spent 3 hours. There was no professor even used the word once in any class.